Hey, I'm Ethan. So with Pokemon Sun and Moon coming out soon, I went back to older Pokemon games to help with my Pokemon withdrawal for the time being. And I'd imagine that a lot of other people would be doing the same thing right now. But if you're wondering if Pokemon Platinum is worth revisiting, or if you just want to play it for the first time, then my review's here for you. Pokemon Platinum was released on March 22nd, 2009. It was an enhanced version of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, the 4th generation Pokemon games. This game featured a new story, new Pokemon, new items, relocated items, new NPCs, sped up gameplay, and many more fixes and additions. So unless you want version exclusive Pokemon not found in Platinum, this is the definitive version to play. Pokemon Platinum plays very similar to previous entries in the series. It has its own region. The Sinnoh region, it has the standard rock, paper, scissors type battles. You can go around and fight people or wild Pokemon, find legendary Pokemon, you can trade Pokemon, challenge gym leaders, and you can go up against the Elite Four and the Champion. However, Generation 4, and more specifically Platinum, introduced a few things as well. The Battle Frontier is a new area exclusive to Platinum. The Versus Recorder, also introduced in Platinum, recorded battles with other trainers, and you can transfer Pokemon from Generation 3. Pokemon battles are like a game of rock, paper, scissors. Certain types of attacks have advantages over other Pokemon. So a water type move would do well against a fire type Pokemon, and a bug type move would do well against a psychic Pokemon. Certain types of Pokemon are also resistant or outright immune to other types of attacks as well. A dark type Pokemon will be resistant to psychic attacks, and a normal type attack when it affects a ghost type Pokemon. Pokemon can also have two types, so a Pokemon like Abomasnow will have a 4-time weakness to fire, since grass and ice are weak to fire, while a Pokemon like Spiritomb would have no weakness with his dark ghost typing. Throughout the world of Pokemon, it's tradition that when you lock eyes with another Pokemon trainer, you have to battle them. If you don't want to battle them, run past them once they look the other way. A Pokemon trainer will generally have Pokemon that fits their theme. A Black Belt will use fighting type Pokemon, and a Bug Catcher will use bug type Pokemon. Other trainers such as Ace trainers and interviewers will be a little more random, so make sure to have a varied team. Scattered throughout Sinnoh are patches of tall grass which have wild Pokemon hiding in them. Whenever you fight a wild Pokemon, you can defeat it, run away, or capture it. Capturing a Pokemon involves lowering its HP enough to where a Pokeball can keep it inside it for 4 shakes. Certain Pokemon have a lower catch rate than others, so using any attacks that can paralyze them or put them to sleep will help increase the catch rate. Pokeballs also come in a variety of ways. Some are stronger than a Pokeball, some work better at the beginning of battles, and some work well in dark areas. Use these methods to your advantage. The Pokemon in this game have interesting designs. Of course, there's the Pikachu clone and the starter route bird, but a lot of the Pokemon designs in this game are out there. I mean, there's a balloon Pokemon that evolves into a hot air balloon, and there's a chariot that evolves into a gloomy flower which can change in the sunlight. Like I said, it's very out there, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. To get back onto Pokemon encounters, fighting wild Pokemon or trainers and winning will earn you EXP, or experience points, which can level your Pokemon up. This will make your Pokemon stronger, learn new moves, and eventually evolve. Evolution involves a Pokemon changing into a new form that's typically stronger than its previous form. It's not really evolving, it's more like a metamorphosis in a way. Most Pokemon usually have 3 stages to evolution, while some only have 2, and some don't evolve at all. Certain Pokemon can also evolve through other means. Some Pokemon like Shoulder will only evolve through a certain stone, while others like Eevee will only evolve by leveling up near an object. Experiment and try to find them all, or just look them up on Bulbapedia. There are also one-of-a-kind Pokemon known as Legendary Pokemon. Normally you'll see these guys at the end or the middle of the game, and for good reason too. These guys have high levels, low catch rate, and are usually located in hard-to-get areas. Some are even roaming legendaries, which means they're going to teleport randomly around the region. Some moves can counteract them from fleeing battle, and any damage that they take is carried over to the next battle. There are also event Pokemon that you can no longer obtain due to this being an old game. If you want these guys, you'll need to find a cheating device. But to get the normal legendaries, bring a few repels, Pokeballs, and status inflicting Pokemon, because you're going to need them. Catching legendaries and wild Pokemon will also help fill up your Pokedex in this game. The Pokedex is like a Pokemon encyclopedia. Seeing a Pokemon will register the image in the Pokedex, while catching it will give you a lot more information about it. And once you've seen all 210 Pokemon, you can get the National Dex. It covers all the Pokemon from Generation 1 to Generation 4. This will take quite a while for anyone looking to complete the National Dex. If you want to get all the Pokemon in Generation 4, then you're going to need to trade with another game. Trading is exactly what it sounds like. You pick a Pokemon you want to give to another person, and they give you a Pokemon too. You can also trade items. Simply let a Pokemon hold an item, and it'll be traded along with the Pokemon. This is required to get them all, since there are quite a few Pokemon missing from this game. Anyways, before I get into the next part of the review, I think I should explain the story of this game. Your journey begins with your friend Barry, telling you that you and him are going to go up to Professor Rowan's lab to get some Pokemon. As soon as you two try to run through the tall grass, Rowan stops you and lectures you on how dangerous that could have been, though Barry somehow manages to convince Rowan to still get you guys Pokemon. After choosing a Pokemon, Rowan leaves. You and Barry then have a battle, and decide to go capture the legendary Pokemon near your lake. There you meet a mysterious blue-haired man named Cyrus, and he says something about conquering time and space or something like that. I'm pretty sure everyone realized that this guy was the head honcho of the game's team, Team Galactic. After that, Professor Rowan gives you a Pokedex and your journey begins. Yeah, I'm skipping out on a lot of story here because it doesn't matter all that much. It pretty much plays out like any other Pokemon game. You beat a few gym leaders, you stop one of the organization's leaders, beat some more gyms, and rinse and repeat. The head boss finds the legendary Pokemon on the cover of the game, you fight the boss and the legendary Pokemon, and the evil organization is gone. Then you fight the Elite Four and the champion and become the new champion. It's pretty simple stuff. The story does have some cool moments here and there, and the characters get a smile at me at times, but there's also a lot of pacing issues with this game's story. Certain events happen right out of the blue, and sometimes the game just stops with fighting gym leaders to take down something that involves Team Galactic, and even at some points I just wanted nothing to do with Team Galactic parts of the game. I don't know, it might be different for you, but at least you get to still take on gym leaders after those parts. Oh, speaking of gym leaders. The main part of the game, aside from the story sections, are challenging the 8 gym leaders, and eventually, challenging the Elite Four and the champion of the Sinnoh region. The gym leaders scale in difficulty as you beat each one, and they all use different types of Pokemon. Rock, Grass, Fighting, Ghost, Water, Steel, Ice, and finally Electric in their respective order. Some gym leaders can be challenged the moment you enter the city, while others need to be found first or certain conditions need to be met. A lot of gym leaders in this game can be easy or challenging, depending on what Pokemon you use. I had a tough time during the first half of the game, while the second half was a breeze. This adds a lot of replay value to the game by using different types of Pokemon on your team to make the game more easy or difficult. And once you've taken care of all the gym leaders, it's time to become the next Sinnoh League champion. Becoming champion requires you to defeat the Elite Four and the current champion. The Elite Four also have their own type of Pokemon: Bug, Ground, Fire, and Psychic, while the champion will use multiple types of Pokemon. The Elite Four and the champion will be really challenging for most people, as to be expected of the big thing of the game. Bring level 60 or higher Pokemon to this place because the champion will kick your ass if you come unprepared. But as with all things in this game, if you have enough patience and strategy and luck, you'll beat the champion. After you become the new champion and see the credits, you'll access the post-game content, which includes Pal Park, new legendary Pokemon, and the Battle Frontier. After obtaining the National Dex, a new area opens. Pal Park is an area in the game where you'll be able to transfer Pokemon from Generation 3 to your game, using the dual slot feature. This will help your National Dex entries increase, and you'll be able to use old Pokemon as well. It's a really neat function. The Battle Frontier is a new area in Platinum, which replaced the Battle Park. Here you can participate in 3 different types of challenges: winning single or double battles 7 times in a row, doing the same thing but with random rental Pokemon, and then there's the Battle Arcade. Here, you have to choose 3 Pokemon on your team and play a roulette game before you battle your opponent. The roulette determines which event will happen. Some events lower the opponent's HP, others can poison your party, and some can even give you items. I think the Battle Frontier is a great place for anyone looking for more post-game content and challenge. It offers a variety of ways to battle Pokemon trainers, and the music here is fantastic. A lot of the music in Generation 4 was great in my opinion. It was a lot more mechanical, bassy, synthy, and less brassy than its predecessors. It was also a lot more varied than the previous generations, with there being a lot more musical styles as the game progressed. I love all the tracks in Generation 4. They're all filled with energy and sometimes capture the mood of the game quite well. Along with music getting better with the new generation, the graphics also got an increase in quality as well. The 3D graphics can definitely make the world pop out a bit more, even if some of the models look a little off. The sprite work is fantastic as always, but the protagonist's hat always looked a little too large. Maybe it's just me. But that's all I have to say about Pokemon Platinum. Is it worth your time to revisit? I think so. The story is a bit meh, but other than that, the game is challenging, the Pokemon are interesting, and the music is fantastic. There's a lot of post-game content to keep you preoccupied for Sun and Moon 2. But can I recommend this to a newcomer to the series? Yeah, sure. It can be a little rough at times if you don't know what you're doing, but eventually you'll get the hang of it, and you'll probably have a blast playing it. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching, have a fantastic night, and take care.